7'9" and still growing. He just cut down a basketball net without a ladder. He's taller than Victor Wembanyama, taller than Yao Ming, taller than Shaq, taller than anyone who's ever played basketball, and will soon be an NBA player. Meet Olivier Rioux, the center for the Florida Gators. He's 2 inches taller than the previous tallest player, Manute Bol, who was 7'7". But this guy is only 19 years old, which means he's still growing. He went viral when he was 12 years old because at the age of 12, he was 6'10". That is taller than LeBron at the age of 12. Even Jamal Murray wanted to take a picture with him. And look how short Jamal Murray looks compared to him. And he's grown 1 foot since then. It wasn't only Jamal Murray that noticed. The entire NBA noticed. Steph Curry commented saying, "So many questions." Joel Embiid said he was impressed that this kid was talking so much trash. Because when you're 6'10" at the age of 12, obviously dominating all the other kids, and still talking trash, that's crazy. At the time, NBA players found it funny. But right now, NBA players are a little worried because now they're gonna have to play against him. Most of the younger guys that are super tall, they get a little bit of fame. They don't really develop that well. Olivier Rioux is different. Ever since then, he has been silent. He has been grinding and becoming a good basketball player. A skilled basketball player. He's an amazing dunker, obviously. He doesn't even have to jump to dunk the ball. An amazing defender, blocking everybody. But what makes his potential really through the roof, he is a great passer. And in today's NBA, we are seeing so many big men passers. It's almost a requirement for new young centers to be able to pass the ball. But there's another reason that these tall guys usually don't make it too far. Because I've seen a million of these tall guy videos and I never want to make a video on it because I always feel like they're going to be a bust. But here's the thing with Olivier Rioux. The ones we've seen in the past, their bodies are really out of proportion. They might be 7'7", but they're extremely skinny, and that's not their fault. That's just how their body is. But Olivier Rioux, somehow, by a miracle, is 7'9", but has a built, normal body. He's a strong dude. He's 300 pounds, over 300 pounds. This dude is built like a tank, which is absolutely terrifying. Because at 19, even if you're only like 6'10", a lot of 19, 20-year-old NBA players, it takes them a few years to build muscle. Look at Giannis. It took him years. If he is building muscle like this at 19 and 7'9", imagine how he's gonna look at 24. And last year, it was time for him to pick a college. A lot of players go where they get a scholarship. Totally understandable. I totally understand it. But Olivier Rioux went to Florida on no scholarship, knowing he's not gonna get a lot of minutes his rookie year. But he knows that's where he can grow, where he can develop, be around good coaches. 99 out of 100 players go to a scholarship, go somewhere they get minutes. This dude is showing he is serious about, not only is he serious about the NBA, he is chasing the NBA. This past year, he's been focusing on strength, conditioning, and speed, and he's already transformed in 1 year. His own coach, the Florida coach, Todd Golden, said he's way more athletic now than when he got here. We feel good about his potential. He's passing all the tests that tall players usually fail, that block them from getting into the NBA. Here's another one. Can he hit free throws? It's a lot harder for super tall players to hit free throws. And if you are one of these broken free throw shooters, you can't get playing time. You're gonna be useless if you can't hit free throws at least 60%. But he's been good. The last game we saw him, he was playing for Team Canada, 9 for 13 from free throw. That's 69%. But still, about 70% from free throw is incredible for someone his height. One of my favorite parts, his coach says he's extremely coachable. The coach is making a bet on the player, because if the player is a complete bust and doesn't make the NBA, that guy looks bad. We are finally seeing a player who's not just incredibly physically gifted, but has the mindset to try to improve year to year quietly. He went viral and has been quiet. He's coachable and is building a skill set, not just being good at dunks and blocks like everyone his height. You know how scary that is? The last time we saw a player with a similar height and a real skill set was Yao Ming. Yao Ming was 7'6" and was a top 10 center of all time, maybe even top 5. Yao Ming only played 8 years in the NBA because he broke his foot and it never recovered, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Do you know how good you have to be to make the Hall of Fame with only 8 NBA seasons? That is how dangerous it is to be so tall and so good. The potential is through the roof. Victor Wembanyama is 7'4". I'm not saying this guy is Wemby, but Victor Wembanyama already looks like an alien out there, blocking people without even needing to jump. And he's 5 inches taller than Wemby. That's why I'm excited. Olivier's NBA comparison is Zach Edey, the center for the Grizzlies. Zach Edey had a very similar start. He was super tall at a young age, but instead of just trying to be viral, he slowly developed his game year to year. He developed a skill set and eventually became an NBA talent. But Zach Edey is 7'4", and this might have already crossed your mind during this video, but I gotta say, if he's only 19 and he's 7'9", we have a chance at seeing an 8-footer. That's not a crazy thing to say. He is literally still growing. By the time he makes the NBA, he probably will be 7'10", but he has the chance, if he gets a little bit of a growth spurt, to hit 8 feet. This would break the NBA. Listen, just hear me out on this, because I know it sounds crazy, but when Wilt Chamberlain was in the NBA, he was the only super tall guy. That's why he had seasons averaging 50 points, 30 rebounds. He was very good for sure. But Wilt Chamberlain was ahead of his time in terms of his height and size. Nobody could compete. It's going to happen in the NBA eventually. The new Wilt, the new guy to literally break the NBA. And right now, Olivier Rioux has the best chance of being that person. All his life, he's broken records. At 15, he became the tallest teenager ever, being 7'5". Today, he's the tallest college basketball player ever at 7'9". And if he makes the NBA, which I think he will break that record too. He's not the next Yao Ming. He's not the next Victor Wembanyama. He's not the next anyone. He's the first Olivier Rioux. And even the super tall players that made it to the NBA, Yao Ming, Manute Bol, George Moressen, all of these super tall players, they didn't reach their potential. The NBA was not prepared for players of their height. When I say the NBA, I'm not talking about NBA players. I'm talking about NBA doctors. The doctors didn't know how to properly take care of them. Yao Ming, bro, how many people break their foot and they're okay? Yao Ming, they couldn't figure it out. It ended his career. NBA scouts weren't ready. They didn't know how to develop these super tall players. They saw someone who was 7'7" and said, okay, you're gonna block shots and get dunks. They already know how to do that. You gotta develop the other skills. They have learned from their mistakes of messing up with the other tall guys, and they have been waiting. They have been waiting for the new opportunity. It's gonna take a few years. Most likely the 2028 NBA draft is when we'll see him, but it will be worth it. Because if I notice this guy, bro, NBA scouts are losing their mind thinking about the opportunity with him.